All right, so you saw got a new helmet in the last video, and I talked about remounting the posts for my HANS, or what I use at the SHR Flex. The big difference here is this actually articulates, and this bit right here flexes, and of course, being German, there's a proprietary mounting system. So the downside is I can't share that with someone else that I'm racing with if they don't also have these specific mounts. So if you look at the mounts, you see there's that little keyway right there, and then this part flexes in. So it goes in there, rotates, and there's a underneath. You probably cannot see that, but it's machined out so that way the mount or the harness can actually flex on here without coming out. But yeah, the downside is you can't share it with anyone else unless they have that specific head and neck restraint system. But the big reason I got that is I have 3-inch harnesses in my car. Most HANS branded devices, you need to have the 3-inch, and they narrow down to 2-inch over your shoulders when it comes up right on the side of your helmet there. Whereas with this, you can use a 3-inch harness all the way up, so went with that. Anyway, so you have on all SA 2015 or Snell 2015 helmets, as you can see, it says Snell SA 2015 right there. Got a couple dog ears in here. They have to come pre-drilled and ready to accept head and neck restraint harnesses. So this is my old Pyrotect helmet, Pyrotect. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to take, what size is this? I don't know, 4 millimeter. I'll put it against the white so you can see it. 4 millimeter Allen key. This obviously I already installed, but oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and unscrew this. So the key is, you have that little keyway on here, and that needs to face towards the back of the helmet, specifically. So take this out. And it comes out as an entire system, just like that. So I'm gonna do that. And then we're gonna come over on this side here. Again, the little keyway is facing the back of the helmet. So this is the left, that's the right. And if you can see, that's threaded right in there. So that's all that ties into. And I'll do the communications connector later. But all right. Before you reinstall, you're going to want to make sure you have some blue Loctite. This is the medium hold, medium strength. It is meant to lock threads together, but or lock threads in, or I don't know, however you want to say that, but not permanently. So you can, in fact, break loose the Loctite using your tool, and then for future reinstall. You'll see red Loctite, that is permanent. Typically, in order to break that loose, you're not going to be able to reuse, whatever fastener you're using. You might strip it out. I've actually broken tools that may have been rust as well as Loctite, but who knows? Northern car, almost 200,000 miles on it. Who the heck knows? But anyway, so reinstall. You're going to want to take your Loctite. I want to get stuff on my desk. And so this is the left. And again, it's just going to go get screwed right in here. And it's going to be facing the little gap on there is going to be facing the back. You're going to want to put just a little bit of blue Loctite on there. As you can see, you don't have to put a whole lot because once you start threading it in, it'll work its way through the threads in the helmet. So get that in there, get this started. Screw that in, like so. Get it snug down, not tight yet because you want to make sure, see that little keyway right there? On the Schroth specifically, that needs to be facing towards the rear. In fact, angled down ever so slightly. There we go. So get that set in. And then you go ahead and crank it down. So I'm getting it set just so. There you go. So get it. Come on. Sorry, it's spinning a bit on me. I want to make sure that I get it aligned. There we go. Cool. If need be, rotate it to the left further than you want it, right? So rotate it up further than you want it, and as you tighten it down, it'll tighten into the spot that you want. But so you have the left side, do the same for the right. It's pretty straightforward. If you've ever tightened a bolt at any point in your life, you could probably figure this out. If you haven't, probably don't want to be listening to me. Probably don't know what the heck I'm doing. But all right, so we'll go ahead and get this. So if you can see, that little keyway is kind of facing on the bottom there, but it's still loose, right? As you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it on the bottom, but then as I tighten it up, it's going to want to rotate. Oh, hey, don't scratch your brand new helmet, Joe. Rotate to facing the rear. Now that it's tight, see it's now facing on the rear. Et voila. Cool. So just double check, make sure everything fits all right. So your head is going to be approximately there. Well, here, before I do that, let me show you what that keyway kind of fits into. So on the head and neck restraint, you see that little keyway on the bottom, that little key right there? As you go to put it on, you're gonna wanna clip that in and it'll rotate down and it'll be locked in that channel underneath. So just to make sure everything is in fact working appropriately, I'll take this, stick that in there. Come on. There we go. So now that fits in there just fine. Get this one in here. It's much easier when it's on my head for some reason. All right, I'm having technical difficulties here. It's probably the nut behind the wheel. So give me 1 second here, let me see if I need to adjust this ever so slightly. Just need to massage it a little bit. Let's try that. All right, I might have to go full goofball in my office and put my helmet on, see if I can't figure this out. I'm not sure exactly why that's giving me a hard time. Everything compresses as it should. This is in fact on the correct side of the helmet. All right, we're gonna go full goofball. Hi everybody. Hi Dr. Nick. For those of you that are old enough to get that reference. All right, so right side, good, left side, still being a pain. I don't know why that is. This should be the easiest thing in the world. Like I said, you might not want to actually listen to me. Anyway, you see how it flexes? Look how good this looks. All right, but looking cool is only half the battle. The other half is being safe. What order you decide to go in is up to you. All right. This should have been as easy as putting 2 little bolts in. So what I'm doing here is I just loosened it up to see if, yeah, so I wonder if I just had it a skosh too tight. By the way, a skosh is a technical measurement, and it's more than a smidgen bit. By the way, a smidgen bit is a completely made up term. All right, let's try that. A little bit less tight, still thread locked in. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. There we go. I wonder if there's a little, so that's working now. All right, that pops up. I wonder if there's like a little burr on there or something. Probably shouldn't be, being German and all. And their attention to detail. All right, let's try this again. I'm sure this is the world's most interesting video for anyone and everyone watching. All right, right one is on. Come on, lefty. Hey, all right, we have safetiness. All right, so as you can see right here, right, it connects, but it also rotates, right? Because it's in that little channel. That way, as you're moving your head, you know, you're looking around, it'll flex appropriately. You have your harness goes here, and the whole point of this is your head goes forward, and this even, you can see it articulates a little bit. So stops your head from snapping all the way down. It's actually what killed Dale Earnhardt. That's why HANS devices came into use. So it keeps your head from whiplashing forward, especially when you have a 3, 4, 5 pound weight on top of your fat melon. That's a really good way to snap your neck. But HANS, or head and neck restraint devices, prevent that from happening. So anyway, that's how you put on a HANS device post system. There's her Schroth or SHR head and neck restraint device post system. Make sure you use your blue Loctite to keep these things from backing out. There's a lot of things you can cheap out on a car with, you know. Paint, you can cheap out on, you know, your fancy shifter, brakes, tires, oil change. I'm just kidding on the brakes and tires. But do not skimp on safety. Spend the money, spend the time, do it right. If you don't have the money, then save up, sell a kidney, do whatever you gotta do, but be safe, right? Make sure you have the bare minimum. I wouldn't even say the bare minimum, right? Make sure you're doing the right thing, because as far as I know, you get one spin on this rock and you might as well enjoy it. And if you're going automotive racing or motorcycles, or you know, your high performance driving, whatever, spend the money, be safe, it's worth it. And that's all I got. Words of wisdom for today from Joe. All right, anyway, thanks for watching. This is my Stilo ST5, Schroth Flex SHR Jiminy Bob, and then how to actually install posts for your head and neck restraint device. Thank you.